So I was talking to my cousin in regards to buying plants. I came to the conclusion that not a lot of people know where to start. Boom, you found me. Quiet as kept. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time, but we're going to get through it together. So I got this cute little pot from Dollar Tree. Well, it's not really a pot. I got it off the party section, but it was clear. And with these type of plants, you kind of sort of want like something to see, especially if you're a beginner. You want to see when the soil is dry, because you want to water it when you see moisture on the bottom half. I usually water like every 2 to 3 weeks, like every 17 to 19 days. I got self-diagnosed ADHD, so I have it set in my app to remind me when to water my plants, because you see this is brand new. The other one died. We will now have a moment of silence for my beautiful, beautiful plant. It was doing so well too. I'm so sad about it. But I took a hot knife and I made holes on the bottom. I got this from the party section in Dollar Tree, $1.25. Cute little pot. And then we're going to transfer. It's always a 2-inch rule. You see how it just fits perfectly inside. It's not too big. And it'll give it a little more room to grow. Much like ourselves, we need room for growth. We need room to flourish. We need room to evolve. I'm transferring it out because the aerial roots are growing through the bottom. You may be asking yourself, what are aerial roots? They simply just help with moisture and absorption of nutrients for the plant. They kind of sort of are not even needed. As you can see, my little shorty is a little root bound, so. Now all I'm doing is making sure that I get all of the dirt from in between the roots. And I'm also looking for a little net bag that a lot of box stores tend to put on the plant that you don't really find out about until you get the plant home. And it kind of restricts the plant from growing. So you want to be able to access as much root as possible. And sure enough, I found a little netting similar to the consistency of like cheesecloth, and I ripped that off as well. Now that I got off as much dirt as possible, we're going to set this aside and get our soil mixture together. We are going to be using these soils in equal parts. The Fox Farm has worm castings in it. Yes, actual worm castings. Indoor potting mix. We also need orchid bark or orchid potting mix, as well as perlite. This mixture is going to be excellent for drainage purposes. You do not want your plants getting root rot. I'm mixing the soil up by hand. I'm not afraid to get my hands a little dirty. It's not that serious. Now I was getting tired of y'all seeing me making funny faces, so all I did was put a little bit of the soil mixture on the bottom, put the plant in, and then covered the top. And now we're gonna water. Please don't make fun of my New York accent. The reason I'm using the watering pot is because I'm using Monstera plant food, which is gonna be excellent because it's winter and my plant is gonna need a little extra help. And this is why I bought a clear pot, because now you can see that the soil is completely saturated. Now I'm using a rag with a little bit of neem oil, and I'm gonna wipe the leaves down because that helps the sunlight penetrate the actual leaves. And then you get beautiful fenestrations, which are the Swiss cheese-like holes that you see on Monstera plants. So my baby was leaning a little bit already, and I went and got a shish kebab stick. Well, actually 2, and I'm going to use a piece of plant Velcro and strap the actual stick to the biggest leaf. That's going to help give it some structure, and it's going to help it grow vertically, that is. Before I go, here are some quick tips. Make sure you place that plant in bright and direct sunlight. It doesn't necessarily have to be right in front of the window, but make sure it does get sunlight. Water when the top inch of the soil is dry. Like I said, I usually water every 17 to 19 days. If you can, make sure you maintain high humidity levels. Use well-draining soil. I already gave you the mixture that I use. And last but not least, you want to provide support and prune regularly for optimal growth. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.